Welcome to Write This Down with Maddy Birdcage. As a global marketing advisory founder, a business educator, and psychology-informed strategist with a full family life and an addiction to luxury travel, I'm here to let you into the inner workings of my businesses, my family life, and my mind to show you how to live the good life. Each episode, I promise to give you practical takeaways you can take action on right away to get you closer to being that calm, growth-focused CEO in control of your business, your marketing, and your life. So make sure you write this down. Hey, it's Maddy Birdcage, and welcome back to Write This Down. You are in for part 2 of my live webinar that I hosted, How to Control Your Marketing with Psychology and Systems. It was a webinar that seemed to just break through a lot of the marketing blocks that people were having when I hosted it live. That was the feedback I was getting. And I also had some pretty badass feedback from the part 1 episode last week. Also, a lot of you did ask for the slide deck, which makes sense because there was a lot of valuable info there. So if you want that, remember, send us a DM at Birdcage Angel Advisors, or don't forget, you can catch this on YouTube as well. So last week, we went deep into the first 3 controls, which were creating demand in your content, turning your opinions into offers, and using paid ads the right way. If you missed it, go back first to that episode and catch up, then come on back because today we are finishing strong. So in part 2, I'm going to take you through, that is the exact framework that we use behind the scenes in our advisory with our best clients, with all of our clients, and I'm going to share how you can access it if you are ready for the deeper work. There is also a nice big juicy offer in there, which we offered as part of the live webinar, but I'm going to extend that offer to you as well to get into the full library at our lowest rate ever with some new bonuses. And that offer, it is only half an hour on the webinar, but it's going to be available to podcast listeners until the 14th of September at 11:59 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. All of the info will be in the show notes for you if you want to take me up on that. So buckle up, part 2 starts now. The last 2 controls. These are the things that separate flounders from founders, systemizing and automating your consistency and basically getting out of your own way, especially if you're a solopreneur or a small team. And lastly, I know this is one of the controls that you all love to hear about, how to apply psychology in your marketing as a tool. Ethically, of course, always ethically. This part is where control really clicks into place, where marketing stops feeling so random for you and you finally get to understand how to engineer the results, predictable results, and it feels good when you get there. So one more thing, at the end of this episode of this training, I'm also going to show those of you who want to take this further, and I'm going to show you how to embed them inside your business using our complete system, which is the full library. Work that we use behind the scenes in our advisory with our best clients, with all of our clients, and I'm going to share how you can access it if you are ready for the deeper work. There is also a nice big juicy offer in there, which we offered as part of the live webinar, but I'm going to extend that offer to you as well to get into the full library at our lowest rate ever with some new bonuses. And that offer, it is only half an hour on the webinar, but it's going to be available to podcast listeners until the 14th of September at 11:59 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. All of the info will be in the show notes for you if you want to take me up on that. So buckle up, part 2 starts now. Okay, we're up to control number 4, making good time. Using systems to automate for ease and consistency. Now, I want to be really real with you. I myself and a lot of entrepreneurs, we're all still doing things ourselves, right? Whether it's a control thing that I have or what it is, but I'm doing a lot of the marketing in my own business still because I love it as well. And some mornings I wake up with really good intentions, but then my day might get derailed. My kids might be homesick from school, or there's a fire I have to put out somewhere, or maybe I'm just not feeling motivated because I had a terrible sleep because my cat was flopping all over my face in the night, right? And because everything depends on you, when you've got a small business, when you are just you even, or if you're the marketing person within a business, if everything's depending on you and depending on you showing up perfectly, that's when marketing stops. I've found that with myself. I can literally gauge my mental wellness, how like happy and motivated I am, and then how like not sad, but like we all go through ups and downs. I can literally see my ups and downs reflected in my revenue figures in my business. And that is a reality for everyone. Okay. Sorry, there's quite a few participants in the meeting, apparently Zoom's telling me. All right. So if you do have a team, it can actually be a lot worse because without structure, your team ends up running in circles. And I've experienced this as well. And this is why we ended up in a huge amount of debt, because we had huge overheads. I wasn't controlling what people were doing because I simply couldn't. There was too many of us and we were only 14. Posts look different, emails look different, the brand is inconsistent. Before you know it, the marketing message is watered down and the concepts are diluted and customers are just confused, right? That is why I believe systems are non-negotiable, because it means that your business doesn't hinge on your mood or your motivation. The systems are the guardrails and they're the rules that everyone can follow so that things get done the same way, the right time, every time. And that includes if it's just yourself. So, yes, that's what I just said. Now, these are the favorite systems that we like to teach, but I want to talk about these. So a clear strategy means that even if your mind is a blur and you're having shiny object syndrome as the entrepreneur that you are, the genius that you are, even if your mind feels like a blur and a big mess, you can reread that strategy document and get back on track. Often, if I feel like we're off, yes, Bethany can relate. If we're off track, or if I'm like, I just don't know, what should I talk about today or tomorrow? Sometimes I just flip through my strategy document and the answers will appear out of nowhere. That's where the answers come from. Having a content schedule. Do you know how easy it is when I switched from, oh shit, I got to film content today, it's 4:00, got to get home, oh, I'll quickly do this, to I film content once a week, maybe twice if I feel like it, and I've got like scripts stacked up ready to go. And it also means that when you're ready to start outsourcing and getting some help, you can actually outsource elements of your content creation whilst you are still the one that is controlling everything. This is why systems can control. Message templates, obviously, like that makes sense. Captions, emails, replies, make sure all the tone is different again so you can get help from other people, but also just, have canned responses that make your life easier. Checklists for campaign launches, that's kind of standard. And then brand guidelines. So like designers, photographers, anything visual, it all looks the same. So these are like probably the 5 non-negotiable systems that we teach and we give templates for, and we really encourage brands to use. They're going to be the hardest hitters for you. And then in terms of automations, it's things like, I think people are really scared of automations. Let me know how you guys feel about it, or if you feel like, oh, it just takes too long to set up and then it never works properly. I can relate to that completely. But I feel like automations are the little robots that they just kind of take the boring, repetitive jobs off your plate or off your team's plate. They reduce your workload. You can reduce overheads. And I'm not saying it's going to take people's jobs necessarily, but it means that the people that you have in your business can actually focus on revenue building activities, not on replying to 50 different people asking for a lead magnet, right? Tony loves automations and AI. They are great, but overwhelming to organize and start. Yeah, ManyChat is great. That's one of our faves. So scheduling posts, obviously that's great. Even if you don't want to use a scheduler, I'll give you a little hint as to what I do, and this is a bit of a system. We have all of the edited videos, so I get our content strategist to help script. I then edit my scripts to make sure they sound like me, and I'm happy to put my face in front of it. I film it, it goes back in our drive folder, it gets edited. Then if I'm like, oh, time to post, I go into that drive folder on my phone, if I'm just like sitting at swimming with the kids or something, and then I download it, and I upload it into like my TikTok, and then I've put them in drafts. And so what that just means is if I need to then go, if I've got that time, blank time at tennis or wherever I'm doing, whatever I'm doing, blank time, I can then just do that little bit of work, draft them all in there, and then out they go. So when I'm busy, that job's already pre-worked. Lead capture. ManyChat is really great for lead capture. Reminders and follow-up. So obviously like email automations, they've been around for a while, but they're still good. But you will see, have a look at this. I didn't use automations on this webinar sign up because we're using new platforms and I didn't have my stuff together. And we probably would have had double the attendance had I had automated flows set up. That's me being real with you guys. But that's the difference. And I mean, lesson learned, again, do what I know to do best. And then also reporting dashboards. So pulling campaigns into one place. I get an automated document sent to me on Sunday night every week that my team doesn't have to do, but that our system pulls through so I can see all of the results and all of the data, and I can make some decisions on Monday. Makes sense, right? So, I mean, as a German, I do love systems naturally, but as a business owner, I'm loving automations because we now have the smallest team that we've had in years, and we are pumping out more work than ever and more high quality work because we're not focused on the little admin-y kind of stuff. The program I use something called Swidoo. It's like super cheap. We also we've tried Metrical in the past, and I think, well, we'll see how we go. I've literally tried every software for everything that you could possibly imagine. So if you need recommendations, hit me up. Okay. Control number 5. We're almost there, my friends. Using psychology as a tool. Now, this is a little bit longer because we have some things to get through in here. But as I said, before we started using psychology in our marketing, our results were super inconsistent. I'm not saying that they weren't there. They were just inconsistent. And if, like, let's just say a giant freaking bill came through the door and I'm like, oh crap, we got to find another 20 grand. I didn't know how to get that because I was just so reliant on, oh, I'll just see what lands in my calendar. I didn't know how to control the system. But then after 2021, you know, you often find the worst things that happen to you, being in that huge amount of debt and having issues with my old team and all that kind of stuff, it's actually pushed me into a much better, happier, resilient, thriving place. And that's usually, I look at it like a slingshot. So it pulls you back to fling you forward. Now we know exactly what buttons to push to make our sales go up and down, which is, it's very calming and reassuring because I know whatever comes, whatever happens, we're fine. There are brands that don't need psychology in their marketing. That is if you are in a very unsaturated market, if you're already famous, because if you're already famous, the hardest part is to get the initial attention in the first place. But if you're already famous and you have that audience, I don't know if we have any famous people on the call today. If your business is built purely on referrals, which is great. A lot of our clients come to us saying they've been built on referrals for the last 10, 20, 30 years, but now they want to actually get in control of that. But if you are purely referrals, that's just, you don't need psychology for that. And then if you're marketing pre-2021, if you find that time machine, let me know, because I'd love to go back and start 100 e-commerce businesses and take advantage of what Facebook ads used to be, Meta ads used to be. But until that time, what we need, everyone else, we need psychology for predictability and control. And I'm going to explain to you why. Okay, so back in the olden days of advertising, if you've watched Mad Men, that's kind of what I'm talking about, but also anything leading up to that 2020 period. It used to be as simple as your customer would see an ad or a post. They would click on the ad or the post, and then they would do and buy the thing. That's kind of what it was. And so you could be like, run a Facebook ad for 3 days and be like, oh, it's not working. Because you know that that's the customer journey, right? It's just, oh, I need laundry detergent. I'll buy that one. Off we go. And there's many reasons for why that is, but that's what it used to be. That's how simple it used to be. Now we need psychology so we can predict and control this situation here. This is a very small customer journey still. This is still very small. See an ad, click away, clicks ad, clicks away, sees another ad, views the Instagram page, steps away, goes to the shop, sees a TikTok post, website, gets distracted, another ad, email list, emails, Facebook post, landing page. You guys get the picture? Yeah. The reason for this is because of the noise online. The noise online and the fact people are fatigued. They are done with being sold to. They are done with being tricked. The younger generation, they can sniff an ad a mile away. My 9-year-old, I can't wait to hire him. He's going to be a brilliant marketer one day. But us as business owners, how are we handling this? How do we navigate through this? Ta-da! Our path to purchase funnel. Now, have you guys heard of funnels before? Have you seen funnels? The reason why it's a funnel is because you have the most audiences at the top. right? Because you're like casting a wide net and you pull it in, some fish fall out, and you want them to fall out. You don't want everyone in your funnel because then you end up with not the ideal clients. And then at the bottom, you have a really solid group of people who love you, who'd probably die for you. And they're the people that you can best serve, and they're the people that are ready to make the sale. And so what we do, we basically bundle up all of this disaster over here, this mess, into our funnel, into separate stages. The way that I came up with our funnel, I spent like 2 years just asking myself, what questions do we need to answer to get attention, to build trust, and to make sales? It's literally just, what questions do I need to answer for audiences in order to move them through? That's what it is. Now, I'm going to break down some ideas. Try not to get your brain in a knot. A little bit psychology stuff here. But the ladder of transformation is something I figured out where I was like, what am I actually selling to people? Whether it's for my own brands or for our clients, what am I selling? Am I selling the actual function? Am I selling marketing services? Yeah, technically. Am I selling confidence, or am I selling a feeling of control for my clients? Yes, I'm doing that too. But actually, what the biggest driver, the most powerful lever that you can have in your marketing, where people move faster, is speaking to their identity, the desired identity that they want to create for themselves. It's about your content, your marketing, matching the person that they want to be. And that's why content that reflects their best self, and it's very specific to you and your brand. We call this mirror marketing because you're mirroring back. That's why this works. That's when you go from just fighting with everyone else online about what you actually sell down at this functional level. The emotional level, yeah, that's already getting a bit better. Like, oh, it'll make you feel calm and all this stuff. I think a lot of people have cottoned on to that, but it's this identity level. It's you're showing them, but by aligning with your brand, they are going to become this type of person. And that is someone that they really want to be. It's why Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Chanel and all the other luxury handbag brands, that's why they're all selling the same thing, but they're actually all speaking to different identities. And it's why you'll see people are brand loyalists, not because, yes, because they have great quality, or because the price is always right, or because they feel taken care of, or maybe it was just the first product that they bought. But often the reason why people go back to a brand again and again and again is because it reflects the person they want to be. Is this landing for you guys? This is quite sophisticated stuff. You guys are getting it. Yes. Don't feel bad if you're not quite there yet. Yeah, it took me years to figure this out. Okay. So that needs to actually become your top of funnel content. It needs to always buy clothes from brands you trust. You, Claire, probably have a security and trust schema, my friend, which is great. It just means that you really, for you, it's all about showing the guarantees and the warranties and how long things last. The client I was at yesterday, they're like a country store, and their audience definitely has a security and trust schema, and it's all about nailed it. And it's all about, these are cane farmers who bought the same pair of Wrangler jeans for 40 years, and they come in and it's because they trust the brand. And there's other people that have started up in town, but they still come back to this particular business because it was the current owner, it was her dad that started it, and he was can't remember what it was, horses, not rodeo, camp drafting. He did camp drafting and he made the saddles. Like that's what that's all about. All right. And speaking of brand stories, actually, that's what your middle of funnel needs to be about. It needs to be about your brand stories and your customer stories. And there is a very specific way you should be telling your stories so that your audience sees themselves in the story. That's what you need to figure out. And the winning script that we are teaching and that we are using ourselves, I call it the grade 3 storytelling method, because my 9-year-old came home and was telling me about the pebble, rock, boulder, and all that, like the evolution of how they're teaching narratives now in school, and I've basically taken that, adapted it, used it for a script. It went off, and I'm like, oh, there we go. The grade 3 storytelling script works. And that's like what we teach you guys. And that's what you can put into ChatGPT, and your scripts are just awesome. Now, the bottom of funnel, this is all about overcoming the human mind. So humans, there's a few different, okay. As business owners or marketers, our job is to incite behavior change, right? The human brain, it is very stubborn. It does not like change. It does not like what's new or different, because when we were cavemen and women, anything new or different was something unpredictable that we couldn't assess the risk, and we didn't know we were going to be safe, right? Now, when we're buying clothes off Etsy, it's not so life and death, but we still have those processing, those what's the right word? We still have those systems running in our heads that make us nervous to try new things. So what we need to do in order to sell what we can sell, in order to help the people we help best, is work with that human brain and overcome the barriers that the brain will naturally put in for us. So these are some of the techniques that we use, and they work every single time. Again, I want to make it really clear, like, I'm very big on ethically using these things. And that's why we don't work with people that are just about get rich quick. We only work with people that are really passionate about what they do. They really stand behind their products and their services, and they really just want to help people through their business. So the first tool I want to show you is future pacing. So this is helping them imagine a better future. So if, like a fitness coach said to you, imagine walking into summer with more energy, clothes fitting better, and never second guessing your food choices. These are quite generic, but I'm just trying to give you an example of that whole, like, imagine this. That's future pacing. If I said to you, imagine having your marketing under control. Within 3 months, you're converting 100% of your sales calls. Your videos are performing and getting the right DMs. Like, imagine if I said that to you, you'd be like, oh, that would be nice. And that's already the brain priming to imagine the future state with your brand involved. The next one is overcoming objections. So every buyer has heaps of reasons not to move forward. They might say, I don't have time, I don't have the money, I don't know if this is going to work for me, or they're just not sure. But what you need to do is address these objections before they can really even voice them, because what you really want people to have in the end is no good reason not to move forward with you. And the way that you overcome objections is you prove that you can overcome them. So like a real estate agent worried that the market's too competitive, we've closed homes for buyers with smaller deposits by focusing on off-market properties. So you can see with this little statement here, this is wrapped up in a lot of goodness. This is them using their proof, showing we've got the track record, but also showing their signature approach, showing that they do things differently. And that's how they overcome this issue of the market's too competitive. If we look at removing risk, making it safe for them to say yes, guarantees, warranties, if your skin doesn't feel calmer in 30 days, get your money back, no questions asked. And then urgency and scarcity. Why now and not later? Because I think a lot of us have all these good, like I've been meaning to restock my skincare for like, what, 3 weeks? I still haven't done it. If that brand sent me an email and said 20% off today, I'd be buying now. It doesn't always have to be discounts. It can be, there's only a certain amount of spots left. Always be honest with it. Don't lie, because first of all, that's wrong, but also people can sniff that out if that's not true. But the reality is, as a small business, you always have, there is only a limited amount. There's a limited amount of your time and your team's time. There's a limited amount of products that you probably have in stock. There is a limit. And so you just need to lean on them in order to motivate people to move forward. So these are some of the things I want you to ask yourself. Who's feeling a bit tangled? Who's feeling inspired? Who's had a few aha moments as to why maybe things haven't been landing in their marketing previously? Who's still awake? Yay, yay, yay. Only 3 of you. Rebecca. Claire, light bulb moments going off. Woohoo! Love the psychology. I do too. I'm obsessed with it. You should hear Maria and I, my director and I, whenever we go on business trips, even like personal trips, because we're also best friends, all we do is talk about like psychology and work the whole time. We're just so obsessed with it. So, okay, this is what we've really gone through. That's a lot of information for you to take in. As I said, I promise I will send you the questions in an email. But what we've basically worked through, we've created demand, not just content, by deeply understanding your audience using our schemas. We know how to turn our opinions into offers with a signature approach and a brand revolution. We're using paid ads to amplify, not to rescue, by using organic to test and learn. We want to use systems and automations for ease and consistency, basically to get out of our own way. And then we use psychology as a tool to overcome the human mind. Okay, so now that you've seen what control in your marketing looks like, the real question is probably, okay, well, how do I actually build this into my brand for good? How do I actually do this step by step? Because it is really one thing to understand these 5 controls, but it's another thing to actually have the tools, the frameworks, the support, the accountability to make it consistent and scalable. So what I want to ask you guys, I always like to ask for permission, is it okay if I share with you about our best-selling program that would help you move forward deeper into all of this? And there will be a very special offer just for attendees today. And then afterwards, we're going to have our live Q&A. Okay. All right. Yes, thank you, guys. All right. So I want to introduce to you the full library. It is not just a course, it's actually our complete system. These are the same tools, templates, and psychology frameworks that we use with our top clients behind the scenes, with brands that are paying us $30,000 for advisory, brands that pay us $100K for advisory and implementation. And I have seen the transformations firsthand. And I'm going to show you some of these, okay? So basically what the full library is, it's as the name suggests, a collection of our training tools and templates plus additional support that you can't get anywhere else. It allows you to write your psychology-informed strategy and then install this marketing system in your business so it delivers. It is specifically for entrepreneurs, including fellow marketers. You are so welcome to do this program, to take our methodologies to make yours and your clients' marketing better, who want to use psychology and systems to grow their business the smart way. We're not dummies here. We're clever. We know how to work smarter. The people that have the most success in this program is usually people that are they're done with the unintelligent, superficial, guru, empty promises, basic tactic stuff. They are frustrated with what I call the Frankenstein marketing, as I mentioned, which takes so much time and you're not getting anywhere. Or they're sick of avoiding marketing altogether. They know that they need to do it, just like I know I need to go back to the dentist, but I'm like putting it to the side because it's uncomfy and I just don't, I'm nervous about the drill going in, right? I don't need dental work. I'm just giving an example. What I want to ask you right now is to draw a line in the sand. Are you going to keep being that person that's like busy, 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 not getting the results, or I'm just going to ignore this and just focus on responding to emails? Are we going to be that person, or are we going to be the person that knows how to use all of these 5 drivers and is going to be our next future success story? Make that decision now. Yes or no? So the biggest thing about this that I want to make really clear is it's not a it's a framework. It's not a copy paste campaign. So this is why we can get it to work for every brand at every stage in every industry. It's because the strategy and the work that comes out of this is shaped by you, your knowledge, your customers, your approach, your beliefs. I wish we could copy and paste strategies because, my God, we'd spend a lot less time writing them, but we cannot. Every strategy, even if it's for exactly a skincare brand, an accounting firm, every single strategy is completely different. All you need to do, step 1, write your strategy. Step 2, create your content system. Step 3, amplify the results. And I'm going to show you exactly how that happens. The biggest thing in it is I like to call them time-considerate video trainings. I didn't purposely make super long videos just to feel like you've got more value, because I know you're busy. Some videos are 2 minutes, some are 20 minutes, but it's really all about just making sure that like you get the information you need and there is more information for you if you want to go deeper. You get all our signature tools. So audience schemas, ladders of transformation, the quizzes, the archetype matrix, all of those tools that we develop for ourselves, you will get. You can move quicker with templates, fill in the blanks, etc. There's also example strategies and campaigns from past clients and students. So you can really remove any like, oh, am I doing this right? You can actually see what's worked in the past. And then we also have extra support to keep you moving forward so you don't get stuck. Of course, we teach you all of the platforms as well. So this is something people always ask us, am I going to learn LinkedIn? Yeah, you are. But let me be really clear. The content you make is going to work on any platform because it's audience aligned. That's the beauty of it. We do give you repurposing frameworks so you can, use a few things to your advantage, like don't use hashtags on Facebook, but use them on Instagram, or types of video specifications, or, how to stay out of the spam folder. All of those quick tactic stuff is of course included, and that gets updated as we see it change. But I want to see, is anyone here like this? I'm afraid to use social media. I don't want to show up on social media. If that is how you feel, maybe not. But if it is, I guarantee you it's because you felt like this client, this student here, that just wasn't confident in what they had to say and how to say it. But once they have it, once they know their audience, they feel like they can't fail because she knows what she's talking about and how to make my audience want to buy. You actually will get very excited to start making content. If you feel like you don't have time, neither. I purposely have made this. It's 20 hours is what you need to complete this program, end to end. I make you do the work as you step through it. So it's not like you do all of this training and then you're like, oh, now I have to do the thing. It's literally after you complete every module, you will have done that piece of strategy or that piece of content or whatever it is that I need you to do. Each module is separated into two parts, the psychology, so the theory part, and then the system. And there is an option to speed through the system using our ChatGPT prompt system. So you don't have to use AI if you don't want to, but it makes things a lot faster. And it's a great back and forth tool. If you feel like you've tried before and you've failed, it's not your fault. There's so many people out there that's like, I did this, so you can do it too. And they're more copy paste. But this is, as I said, it's a framework. We've worked with over 2,500 brands worldwide. In the last 10 years, we've created a system that we use for our business and that we use for our clients' business to make results predictable because we had to, because we were dying without it. And if you've already invested thousands in programs and coaches, so have more than 60% of people inside our programs. They've actually spent more than $10,000. We asked this question and they've all spent a lot of money on programs. I've spent a lot of money on programs. But if that had worked, you wouldn't be here. These are the missing pieces.
Oh my God, I just got off the phone with someone and...
Can you guys hear that? Did you hear that? I want to check first. Okay. So this is FED Interiors. This is literally her voice note to me like 3 days ago.
Oh my God, I just got off the phone with someone and they accepted the proposal. And it made me think that when I burnt my business to the ground at the start of this year and got express mode, I literally brought it with the last dollar that I had. And now I've got $30,000 coming into my account. It's not even crazy because I think it's a huge amount of money. It's not my ceiling. The only thing I changed was everything from express mode. I really liked my website and that was what sold them on me. Everything looked professional. He said, you've got the best website I've seen in so long. A combination of people finding me on Google, going to my Instagram, it's working. I think holistically, I'm saying the same thing at every point. On my Instagram, on my TikTok, they go to my website. And someone messaged me start of this week saying, I popped up on their TikTok For You page. How can I work with you? I'm not doing any sales. It's just, I want to work with you. Tell me what I need. How can I pay you? It's just so insane. And like I say, all I've changed is everything I learned in express mode. Ego aside, because I'm showing up on social media more and just filming them on my phone. Insane. More than half of what I earned in the last financial year without express mode, and start expanding and thinking bigger. I've surpassed, I thought I was going to in this time frame, that now I'm like, there are no ceilings. Which I always believed, but I had never seen it in action for myself at least. Whereas now, like, I truly believe that to my core. I have the evidence and it just makes it so much fucking easier to show up. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So it makes my heart explode when I hear things like that come through. it stresses me out that she's like, this was my last dollar. It's a lot of pressure, but that's actually a really, really common story. There are people that are like, I put it on my credit card. I don't know how I'm going to pay it, but it works. This is a local chiropractor. She doubled her appointment. She was now fully booked. That's after taking on 2 new massage therapists and a new chiropractor. So that was very exciting for her. Sarah from Outback Linen Co. She's like out in rural Australia. Her business was only 12 months old. She did the strategy, took all the steps and the mindset work, which is included as well. Mindset work does matter. And she scaled to over $1 million a year. And now we're in conversation about how we are going to support her, not so much as an agency, that's not exactly what we do anymore, but as an advisory blended model. This is Dallas from True Colors. She is absolutely gorgeous, of course, but she's highly intelligent and a great businesswoman. And with our methods, she went from 5K to 90K months in just 7 months. This is clothing, highly niched festival clothing. She killed it. She did all the things.
I have hated working.
This, I'm going to show you Katie from Sabia Co. She has a wonderful skincare brand, and yeah, she did some incredible stuff.
I have hated working with agencies in the past. I don't really like doing the ads. I don't really know how to do the ads, but how can I do this? I need some type of resource. I need to be able to put my passion and what's in my brain into my content, into a brand deck, so that no matter who walks in the door to help me with Sabia Co, they get it, like right down to the core, to the way that our customer feels. Our accountant was like, what the fuck did you do this year? 5x'd our profit. It's because of that. There's no other explanation. Like, didn't spend more money on ads because ads cost money and eat into your profit anyway. To do that extra revenue for basically free, I have just had the biggest January ever. And I've probably posted on Instagram 10 times. Like, if you've got a vision and you do the work and the work is intentional, you don't have to work as hard because the work is more powerful. There was weeks and weeks of every single video doing over like 10,000 to 100,000 views. Thank you so much for always supporting me too and giving me help with the marketing things. And I've had those moments where I'm like, I don't want to fucking do it, or I don't know what to do.
Our students like to swear. So do I. Okay. So, well, this is the first time I've used this. I want to show you. These are all the modules that you get inside the full library. So these modules, they are not yet available. They're going to be available for individual purchase in the next few days. But this is how we used to have the full library set up. We changed it for a bit, and now we're bringing it back to this setup because I just think it works better. But what you see here, these are all the modules that you get inside the full library. That's why it's a full library of all of our things, all of our trainings that we have. To purchase these alone is around, well, $3,376 if you were to purchase all of these steps individually, which makes up our whole system, right? Training tools and templates. Now, when you join the full library, not only do you get all of them, but you also get our neural mindset upgrade system for entrepreneurs, which is $30 a month. You get that for 12 months. You also get 24/7 access to, that's meant to say Maddy's brain, via our custom chatbot, not 24/7. I wish I could be on 24/7 for you. You also get our brand new Halo. It stands for help, advice, learning, and optimization. So they're the 4 different pillars that our help center supports you on. Again, it's AI generated articles. It's basically like, when you like chat to a telecom provider and you're like, I'm having issues with this. It sends you some articles. If the articles don't answer, you can then submit a ticket. And you can submit a ticket and I respond, or Maria responds, or Sloan, or Maxine, or whoever the senior strategists are, they will respond to your tickets directly. So there is absolutely no excuse for you not to be moving forward with things. You can't get stuck. We won't let you get stuck. And you get 12-month access to all of those support channels, which is another $5,267. So that means that technically full price for the full library should be $8,643. Of course, that's not what I'm going to charge you guys today. We could charge that much. And actually, many charge $15K for less. And I have paid that. And I've paid some crazy ass program fees in the past, and I've been so disappointed. But because the way that we developed our online programs, it was a result of people asking us to do it. because brands and marketers, they saw what we were doing with our agency and advisory clients and they wanted in, but they weren't at the stage yet where they could commit to set schedules because maybe they had a full-time job or, you know, they've just had a baby or something like life, or they don't want to allocate their whole startup budget to marketing, right? They're like, I can't invest $30,000 in advisory right now. Fair enough. I understand that. But for me, I'm like, one-on-one advisory, it's necessary for more established brands, especially if you have a team and there's more on the line. But with one-on-one advisory, the other thing, sorry, I told you this is a new presentation. One-on-one advisory, it is a non-negotiable if you're not a self-starter. If you are someone that's like, I'll do this later, and you just don't get your butt into gear, we have put every measure around in the full library to try and keep you motivated. Trust me on that. But I'm going to be honest with you and say that if you're not a self-starter and you're not willing to hold yourself accountable, then you need the one-on-one advisory. But for the rest of us, self-paced actually works really well. So we created our self-paced system to bridge the gap between learning to walk with your digital marketing and starting to run. My thinking was, and I've been correct when I launched this a few years ago, I would love to support newer brands who are self-starters who want to learn this system and install it in themselves to get them to the point where we can then work with them one-on-one. And that has been the natural progression for most of our students. So if you are ready to run, even do hurdles, advisory is what you need, and we can talk about that. But if you're still learning to walk in business and digital marketing, then self-paced is the right pace for you. This is how you're going to protect your startup revenue. This is how you're going to learn how to control your marketing from inside your business. It's very, very important. So we're not charging $15,000. We're not even charging $8,500. We don't even charge half of that. The full library typically is $2,999 US, lifetime access to tools and templates, and 12 months access to memberships and subscription support services. But because I like you guys and you've stayed all the way to the end, I'm taking $1,000 off for the next 30 minutes. So it's only $1,999 US. That is literally the cheapest that we've ever sold the full library at. And I'm really excited for it. So you have really two options. You can walk away with this free advice I've given, which stands on its own, and keep guessing for the next 6 months and then finally come back and pay full price, not to mention the opportunity cost. Or you can stop saying you're building a business and actually start building one faster, without failure, and fun, make it funner. I wanted alliteration, than doing it without us. And I want to show you something that I get in my inbox all the time. This is an email from someone who then signed up as an advisory client, but they spoke to us 12 months ago. They didn't do it. They said they were scared to make the jump. Now they've come back. They know the prices have gone up, which is fine. They've now got new competition in Vancouver where they are. And she also knows how many sales we've missed out on, which is that opportunity cost. And so then she came back and she became a client. It does teach you to run ads. Yes, absolutely. I'm teaching you everything. And if it's not in there, you hit me up and I'm going to put it in there. That's really how it was built. It's been building for the last 2.5 years. Now, because I know how your brain works and I want to remove the risk, I've exposed all my secret marketing tactics so you guys know the truth. But I do have a guarantee for you. If you get in there and you decide it's not for you, you have 48 hours to change your mind. There are some terms and conditions around that. Obviously, we have to protect what's in there as well. Make sure you read the terms on the website if that's something that you want to take advantage of. But something I'm really proud of is that no student has ever used this guarantee. No student in the last 2.5 years has ever used the guarantee where they've seen inside the program and they're like, nah, I want out. And I've always said, if someone sees inside the program is like, this is everything I've learned before, I'm like, I will give you a job. Because if you know everything that's in here, I need you to work with me. So that is that option. Okay, this is the information here. I'm going to put the link in the chat for you. It is available for our pay in full enrollments. And you have 30 minutes to claim this offer, to join us, to have access to all of this. I want to be really clear. The Instant Trust Toolbox, that's a new training that's about to be released from October 1st. That is like a new addition that we're having come on, but it won't affect, like you'll be able to move through this entire thing, even if you get there within the next month. And the Trust Toolbox will be built on top of what you've already got going on. It might even launch sooner. I just wanted to set expectations that that's when we'll be able to get that Trust Toolbox through to you. So in the audience decode strategy, that's where we do all the audience schema stuff. In the signature brand strategy, that is where we work through what your brand archetype is, what your values, your vision, your mission statements, your brand visuals. We can also audit your visual branding as well. You'll know very clearly if you need a logo, new logo design maybe or not. The path to purchase funnel, that's how we map out all of your marketing funnels. So we start with obviously organic first, and then we can add the other stuff onto it, but we map that all out in the very beginning so you know where you're going. In the Instant Trust Toolbox, that is where we help you develop things like, we've given you prompts to get like the right Pinterest visuals to come through. We've also got things like what your content posting character might become. This is stuff we've recently added into our strategies. And so these are all new things that we are putting into our program as well. The Creator Launchpad, that's a big juicy one, and that's what a lot of people love. That's where we go through all of our content creation, the psychology behind it, but also the system. We give you our what's it called? The scheduling system that we have. So like our planner, we give you the exact scripts that we use, the ChatGPT prompts that we use, because what you'll do is you'll upload your strategy that you've written up here. You can upload that into ChatGPT, and that's how you get really good content coming through, not just generic stuff that you have to keep fighting with and say, make it sound more like me. It doesn't do that because we've already got all of that mapped out from here. It literally takes you through me shooting content on phones, how to edit on your iPhone with free software, how to do everything really, really quickly, but really well to get that viral resonance. We then, that's also where we take you through how to like post for the different platforms. But then we have the email amplifier. So once you've got your creator stuff happening, you've got your organic socials working, that's when we then add emails on. We don't have to do it straight away. If all you do out of all of this is do your strategy and post some content, that's what Katie from Sabia Co did, and she 5x her profit. That's all she did. She didn't even do the other stuff. I think she eventually did, but at the time of that interview, she didn't even do the other stuff and she already 5x'd it. That's the power. The email amplifier, the paid ads amplifier, so how to build out very simple campaigns like what I mentioned, all step by step, give you all the templates, and we'll show you the best performing ads that are working right now for us and our clients, and then also a website optimizer. So I want to be clear with this one. I'm not showing you step by step how to build a website. I'm showing you how to audit a website that you've got, or maybe one that you do build, to make sure it converts people based on the psychology. You also get the Favorite Self Mindset membership, which is that's a passion project of mine. It's all about neural reprogramming and path.
1,000. Well, here we go.
Oh, you're doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wonderful. Who is that? Sorry, I can't. Rebecca. Is it Rebecca?
Yeah, sorry. I didn't realize I wasn't on. Right.
Oh, Marie, you're in too. Wonderful. Yay, new students. I get so excited. Do you know why I get very excited for students that come through from our webinars? Because you guys are already, you guys love this stuff. Like I can see from the comments and from your engagement, you guys love this psychology stuff. You're going to be so obsessed with it even more. And I'm so excited that we get to do this with you. As I mentioned, so the Favorite Self Mindset stuff, don't skip on that. Please don't skip on that. Even if you've never done mindset work in the past, it is very powerful. And I share a lot of my personal habits that I have that help keep me in a good frame of mind, because business is a bitch, can be. The Maddy chat, that is a ChatGPT, custom GPT that we've created, but then the Halo, so that will be launching in the next week, I believe. And that is all of those support tickets as well. So you can actually have support from us, from our help center. So this is the new format of the full library as well, which I'm, as I said, very excited about. We had a format really similar to this. We discontinued it and tried to put it all into just purely one program. But what we found, oh, thank you, Rebecca. Welcome. If you have any dramas, let me know. Otherwise, just follow all the information for any of the support that you need. Super excited to see what you do and how you go. And hopefully you'll be one of these success stories that we share about in our webinars.